So without further ado, today's topic is really a question I get asked a lot, which is, what are the resources? How did I make it through? What did I use? Because that's it, people want resources. Now, the most common question I always get is about the supplements I used. And so if you take a look at the information bar, I have listed every single supplement that I used for my journey, and also when I went through my transfer, so you can hop on and see if those will work for you. And also I do get the question about resources that I use to kind of keep my morale going, to keep me going. And so I thought that I would hop on here and share with you what those resources are. The first resource that I'll share with you today is The Tower of Fertility. This book is a must. Please take a look at the information bar and grab one today if you don't have it. If you know somebody who's going through infertility, and they have been open to you, this is a gift that I would send, because The Tower of Infertility changed my life. And it's such a great book. You can see it's kind of used because I read this in and out. And Dr. Dow is the author of this book, and I've actually seen him in webinars as well. And it's such a good way to really center yourself, to prepare your body, your mind, and spirit for that new life that is to come. And it takes you through just assessing, and getting yourself ready, whether it is through, meditation, whether it is through acupuncture, whether it is through the food that you eat. Because remember, guys, if you are like me, you're at the stage where honestly you are willing to do whatever it takes. And one of the benefits of doing that, of being open to do what it takes, is that regardless of the outcome, you know that you did the best you can. And for some of us, that is indeed the true gift. And so Dr. Dow carries you through this journey, and I highly would recommend this book. He is amazing. And and the link is in the information bar if you feel that this is useful for you, particularly now as we get into the fall, the change of seasons. Kids are going back to school. I certainly can understand, and I remember I used this throughout the 4 years as I was going through infertility. I heard of him and I knew that I had to grab his book. The second resource that I would recommend for anybody going through infertility, or if you know somebody who's going through infertility and is going through a private hell or a quiet time, is this book by Rebecca Fett. It starts with the egg. When I tell you research, understanding how your body works, and for me who had the diagnosis of age-related infertility, I really needed to understand what was going on. And it took a while for me to understand about the biology of my eggs, age, how that impacted them. And there was a lot of research that I did on making sure that I was maximizing my body and getting them ready. And one of the greatest things I love about Rebecca is that she highlights the power of the cell, and how, what your eggs go through when they're going through fertilization is a mitosis, which is a chemical change. And what you eat and the products that you eat really play a difference in your body. As we know, cells are really the essence of life, and we as women have that power. And so I love how she went back to the basics of like that egg, and when it's retrieved, and trying your best. Obviously nothing will improve egg quality, but there's ways that you can prepare your body so that it is energized and ready for starting life. And so I definitely recommend this book. This is a must for anybody going through IVF. It is such a great book. Take a look at the information bar. If you don't have it, you need to grab it today. And I can't tell you how this was really one of the propelling forces when I was going through my 12 cycles of IVF. Because remember, guys, when you're doing this, there reaches a point where people think you're crazy, or people don't understand, and they shouldn't, because they're not going through the journey. And so this was an amazing book, and it really was the propelling force in how I changed my entire diet. It also taught me how your body the eggs that you have now are a product of what you did 3 months ago. And so things like that, like those, that's something that I didn't know, right? And so I would highly recommend this book, particularly as we transition into the fall, as you're going through infertility and you are still, on your journey to baby. The last resource that I will share with you guys as we transition into a new season, and as you're seeing all these children go back to school, moms and dads in the supermarket with their little ones, and you're feeling, it's either feeling really low or feeling excited about what's to come. And I thought I'd hop on and share these resources just to keep you motivated and keep you going, because it's easy to shut down and break down during times like this. But these are some of my favorites, and they are both by a woman called Iyanla Vanzant. And when I tell you Iyanla Vanzant was my auntie, she was my spiritual auntie. The first book, Faith in the Valley. Take a look at the information bar for this book. You can see mine is so worn out. This book is so good. I guarantee you that when you get it, even people in your circle will want it. Faith in the Valley is just IVF is a journey of hope and faith. When you're going through this journey, there will be times when that's all you have. And it's a faith and hope either in your spiritual upbringing. If you're like me, that it really brought it down to God and I felt like it was like footprints. There were moments in my journey where there was just one set of footprints in the sand, and in my head I was like, that was when God was carrying me. And whatever your foundation is, faith in the valley you're going through of infertility, this book will be applicable. So definitely take a look at it. It's in the information bar. You can grab it. Iyanla Vanzant is amazing. I don't need to speak for her. If you don't know her, then she is a lady that you need to know. And if you want to see how it starts, actually, I'll never forget when I opened this book for the first time, and there was Iyanla Vanzant talking about that there is a lily in the valley. And it's just amazing. And the last book I will share with you is more of a proactive book on how you can navigate and get yourself together. And this was really useful for me, guys, because it was so easy for me to go back and regress, and I couldn't do that because of my age. If one cycle failed, I needed to do a 30-minute boohoo and get back on it again. I had no choice, because that was the only youth I had left. And every egg that they retrieved at the time was valuable. And so I couldn't sit in that moment for too long. And I realized it based on research and understanding biology that I needed to be real careful about that. And I remember this daily meditations, acts of faith. It does say daily meditations for people of color, but I do think that this is applicable to all of us. Again, by Iyanla Vanzant. Was an absolute, a miracle for me. And this was just, again, IVF is difficult, and you do need to spring back, and sometimes that's not always easy, and you do need the resources to be able to help you get through it. And so hopefully you can grab it below and at the information bar. If you don't have it, I would say this is a must in your library. Right, everybody, and there you have it. Fertility journals here. Thank you so much for that question. I mean, it does bring me back. I remember when I got that question, and I keep getting all those questions. What supplements did you use? What doctor did you use? But what resource did you use to keep going? Because, there's a lot of people who are watching this who may have gone through a cycle and it may not have worked, and you have to build up again and go through it, particularly if you're going through the conventional IVF. If that is the IVF for you, I can only imagine, because it does take a toll. But even if you're going through mini IVF does take longer, because it's minimal stimulation, but that could be the best one for you because maybe you have age-related infertility, or you're older and your body just can't deal with a lot of medications, or you don't have a lot of reserve. Then the mini IVF obviously is the treatment for you. So you have the medicine in place, but you are now thinking about other things you can do to guide you through this journey. So I hope those resources are helpful. So everything is in the information bar. If there's one or two things you want to pick up, feel free to do so. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I really do wish you the best as you're going through your IVF journey. And please know that where you are, God is whole, complete, and perfect. And just take it a step at a time. Arm yourself with your resources and keep going. And I wish you all the best in your journey, and keep us updated. And thank you so much for watching. Until my next video, bye.